What you need for food photography. Hi, I'm Mike O'Toole, and I've been a food photographer for many years, certainly more than 20 years anyway. So, to answer what you need for food photography, first thing that springs to mind for me is patience. And not alone do you need patience for food photography, but food photography actually gave me patience. Working as an assistant in the studios many years ago in London, I remember one particular shoot where we had to sift through boxes and boxes of cornflakes, picking out the perfect cornflake with a photographer called Theo Bergstrom. And I learned to be patient from years of moving crumbs around on plates and turning herbs up the right way and so on. And just arranging things takes a lot of patience. So that's definitely number one thing you need is patience. The second thing, which is related, is you need an eye for detail, because you're really going to be looking at the quality of the food, where everything is arranged. You need to not to let anything, everything that's in the lens needs to be you're in charge of. So I tend to, you tend to be very need to eye for some eye for detail for that kind of work. Also, the other thing you need is quality food, and it was brought home to me years ago when I was working on a job for a retailer, which no longer exists, called Super Quinn. For each section in the store, the cheeses, the fishes, the wines, the veg, they sent an expert in each area and fantastic food along to the shoot to make sure we had the best of everything and everything was in great order. Which contrasts with sometimes you getting a courier with a couple of boxes and very little products sent to you, or even worse, you might get damaged food, or the worst thing you can get is food that's out of date. So you need quality food, and that means going wherever you need to go. You need to go to a specialist food store. You need to visit several supermarkets to get the quality. You need to go to the market itself, but you need to get quality food if you're going to take great pictures. The next thing I would say you need are some ideas of what you're trying to do. So maybe you want to do something with shadows. You want to do something from a point of view, a person's own point of view. You want to do something that's very close up. You may have just a different kind of style of thing. You want to do something with color. You've got to have some ideas of what it is you're trying to achieve from the very beginning as something to feed off. That you're trying to do, whether it's this compositional element, whether it's a camera angle, whatever. The next thing you want is a setting. So you want to have some kind of setting where you're going to shoot. And I remember years ago being asked to do a job, and the person who owned the food company had already taken the picture that he thought was perfect. He took it in his own kitchen, and the food was there. It was on the kitchen counter. Or island, and then in the background his wife's arse or backside was in view, and he didn't even notice. He didn't see anything wrong with it, and he brought that to me, and I looked at it and said, okay, we need to completely redo this, and definitely without your wife's backside in the background. The other thing you need is a good food stylist, and I'm lucky, my wife's a food stylist. She's one of the best food stylists around. And you're working with a professional, a person who's either trained as a chef or who's got an artistic background, who's got a visual background. That really helps. You do need that for any kind of good food photography. And lastly, I think what you need is great lighting. And that's something that I'm going to discuss further in a separate tutorial. I'm doing this course called Artificial Lighting for food photography. So it's going beyond daylight. We don't discuss daylight at all. We don't use daylight. We're talking about how to work with artificial light and controllable light for food photography. That's it. Thank you.